if you have gotten to the point where Alex Jones talking points are coming out of your mouth, like, you got to reassess your life. Why is supporting ISIS or sort of dismissing the severity of ISIS, rather, why is that required of you? Who is requiring that of you? Recently, apparently, Hasan decided to say just bizarre shit about ISIS that nobody asked. Specifically, he seemed to imply, of course, while keeping his hands clean, because he loves plausible deniability, he decided to say it was kind of weird that ISIS only kills Muslims and doesn't attack Israel. And I'm just saying that's kind of weird. So let's just watch him say that silly shit.
This is one of the craziest things I've seen him say in a long time. And I'll just play it for you.
Which is saying something, right?
And then we can discuss.
Okay. On the other hand, you have obviously ISIS, which is, this terror cell that seemingly never attacks Israel and only kills Muslims. Weirdly enough, okay? Don't know what that's about. I'm not going to point any fingers here.
You don't know what it's about because it's not fucking true. Like, you're trying to act like you know something or that there's some conspiracy going on.
Yes, he's serious.
Has the American forces actually defended ISIS at times? Yes. Has Israel defended ISIS at times in Syria? Yes, they have.
What the fuck is he even talking about? What exactly is the insinuation here? That ISIS is an agent of Israel? That they're paid to kill Muslims? That they're not actually trying to set up an Islamic state? That they're somehow working for the Jews? Yeah, he's making a conspiracy that Israel controls everything. Right. It's so lazy. Not a false flag, but a perfect false flag. Right. Yeah, they talked about that on the show. It's like, yeah, it sounds very Illuminati. So to me, it's like absolute insanity. And I just wanted to show some things here. Right. Ethan mentioned that obviously ISIS kills more than just Muslims, right? So here is an article. This is from the University of Minnesota, and it is their Holocaust and Genocide Studies program within the College of Liberal Arts. And so it's this document about mass violence and genocide by the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Okay, this is just in those two places. And these are all the different kinds of people, the different ethno-religious groups that ISIS has killed. Yes, some of them are Muslim. A lot of them are Muslim, right? Specifically, there is the schism between Sunni and Shia Islam. And they are radicals on the Sunni side? So they tend to target the other, it must be Shia properties, including Shia Shabak properties were marked with the Arabic letter R, referring to the derogatory term used to describe Shia Muslims. So they're Sunni. ISIS is rooted in Sunni Islam. Of course, Sunni Islam is not like terroristic at all. They are extremists, right? So yes, they target Shia Muslims because the narcissism of small differences to like the nth degree. But that's not the only people that they have targeted. They've targeted Christians in Syria, right? The Yazidis, and that was who Ethan mentioned. Almost 200,000 fled to the mountains, but quickly became besieged by ISIS. Let's see. 5,000 Yazidis have been killed. Many mass graves have been identified, and more are yet to be found. According to the Yazidi Rescue Office in the Kurdistan Regional Government, ISIS kidnapped 6,417 Yazidis, of which 3,451 have been rescued, and almost 3,000 remain missing. So we know where they probably are. And they're also just orphaning families, and it's just like, yeah. They're an ethno-religious group who practice a religion with elements from Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrianism, and Judaism. So these are not Muslims. Yazidis aren't Muslims. The Syriac Christians aren't Muslims. And neither are the Chaldeans or the Assyrians. They're all Christians. Then we have other victims of violence, obviously, throughout the region. So yeah, no, obviously Hasan is wrong, and I don't even understand why he lied about this. Like, it's all, to me, it just feels like it's all virtue signaling, right? Like he's trying to make sure these talking points get in. But like, why is this talking point important? It's like when he was criticizing or pointing out that Trump was, when he was responding to ContraPoints, and he pointed out that she had mentioned ContraPoints' fear of Trump when it came to trans issues and trans rights, he literally did not even take a breath before blaming Biden for the policies that Trump has been enacting to disenfranchise trans people. Like, literally, it was one sentence. I'm not just saying this because, you know, she mentioned that Trump is really bad for trans people, which, by the way, Biden started things, and this is just following them to the logical conclusion. It's like he has a gun to his head, and he's saying this shit, right? So that is just that document, mass violence and genocide by the Islamic State. That's only in Iraq and Syria, right? But ISIS's violence goes well beyond the Middle East, right? First of all, if you are from France, if you have family in France, I'm about to talk about Le Bataclan, the attack that happened in Paris at the Eagles of Death Metal concert. I'm going to keep it vague, but I just want to say that I'm going to talk about it. So content warning, feel free to skip ahead. I take Hasan saying that ISIS only kills Muslims very personally, because for 8 years, I worked in a bilingual school here in America. It was a French English school filled with French people. We had French teachers. We had French teaching assistants. We had, obviously, French kids, French parents, right? From all over the country. And 10 years ago in 2015, ISIS attacked a concert in Paris. In addition to that, they set off, some of the ISIS members blew themselves up outside a soccer match and then also at a cafe. So I was working in a French school when that happened, and our day, the school day was winding down, and I was the after school director. So it was after school around between 3 and 5 p.m. At the same time, 6 hours into the future, right? 6-hour time delay or time difference. This shit is happening in Paris. Gunmen have taken over a concert and killed like 90 people. Just as these French parents are coming to pick up their kids, as French teachers are leaving the school for the day. When I say it was like watching another country go through 9/11, there was like so much panic and despondency among the people. Teachers and parents were just like stumbling and crying and shaking and trying to get a hold of people that they knew, their family members, their friends in Paris. Just trying to contact people to make sure that they were okay, because they didn't know if they were at the concert or the cafe, the specific cafe, or if they went to the football game at the stadium in Paris. And that went on for days and days and days. So here are the victims of the attacks. Like I said, there were 90 people killed at the concert, but there were 130 people who were murdered in one night. This is all of them. It's pretty impossible that this many people, that this group of people are all Muslim, right? France as a country has a Catholic and a Protestant background. Still majority, I think it's still majority either Christian or secular, and majority white. Born in France, not Muslim. These are all the people who died. It's impossible that all of these people are Muslims, especially in such a big city as Paris, right? I'm sure these people are from all over the world. They believe all kinds of things, believe in no God, multiple gods. Certainly some of them were Muslim. Like this person from Algeria, a virtuoso violinist who came to hone his skills in Paris. Algeria has a, I think they're a majority Muslim country. He could very well be Muslim, right? We don't know. But ISIS took responsibility for these 130 people, and this is just one of the attacks, right? In 2015, and around that time, there was also the targeting of the markets in Germany, right? The Christmas markets. Christmas. A Christian holiday. So to sit there and say with the kind of arrogance and confidence that Hasan always has, no matter what, that a terrorist group that has been inflicting violence worldwide for 10 years or more, for over a decade, to say that they only kill Muslims is insane, and it's irresponsible, and it's disgusting. The implication is disgusting. And it's dismissive of these people. It's dismissive of these people's deaths, of their lives. And it takes their deaths, it erases them in the interest of some weird fucking anti-Western conspiracy. So here's the next thing I wanted to show you. This article is from The Guardian. It was written by Emmanuel Carrère, who was one of the journalists that sat through the trial of some of the secondary thugs who were part of the planning process of the attacks on the Bataclan, the Stade de France, and the cafe. There's the Stade de Paris, I don't remember. There was a decision made for that trial that they would limit, basically, they would limit the traumatization of the jury, the jurors, and the people in the courtroom. They didn't show a ton of really violent photos and imagery and videos from the attack. Although if you were online that weekend, you saw a lot of it, because a lot of it was up for a long time. I can still, like, in my brain see the empty concert hall the next day with all the lights on. And you could just see, like, the fucking, like the blood streaks across the floor of people, like, dragging bodies out or trying to drag people to safety. Like that is burned into my brain. But this was one of the things they did show during the trial. So I'm going to just read this and let me know if this reminds you of anyone or anything you might have seen recently. The video put out by the Islamic State, ISIS, claiming responsibility for the attacks would be shown, however, in an expurgated version. What the fuck does expurgated mean? Let's look that up and find out. Instead of being like Hasan and pretending we know what it means. Oops. Having had objectionable or unsuitable matter removed. Oh, okay. So yeah, they limited what exactly was shown from it, but I'm sure they got the gist. But expurgated or not, its sheer atrocity leaves one speechless. Filmed, edited, and set to music, like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game, it shows the 9 lions of the caliphate, the future Paris suicide bombers, the 9 terrorists who died, training on a rocky landscape, probably somewhere in Syria in the summer of 2015. So, just a couple months before they killed all these people. They know that in a few months' time, they will kill and die. For now, they're beheading prisoners. In this video that is filmed, edited, and set to music like a Hollywood blockbuster or video game, or a music video, they're beheading prisoners, 1 each. And not only are they beheading them, some laugh as they do it. However awful its message may be, propaganda generally presents a virtuous face. Normally, propaganda hides horror. Here, it puts it on show. Islamic State doesn't say this is war. Sadly, for good to triumph, we must commit terrible acts. No, it lauds itself for its sadism. It uses sadism, displays of sadism, and the permission to be sadistic to recruit. Now, let's talk about this part. And I can see that some of you have already found what I'm talking about. Its sheer atrocity leaves one speechless. Filmed, edited, and set to music, like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game, it shows the 9 lions of the caliphate training on a rocky landscape, probably somewhere in Syria. They know that in a few months' time they will kill and die.
All right, so these guys are clearly the bad guys. So my question is, how does Hasan cover such a genocidal, violent, misogynistic, homophobic, terroristic organization?
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way, just so you know. These fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah.
Filmed, edited, and set to music like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game. Or a musical. In addition to this, ISIS also killed gay men, many of whom had left the Muslim faith because of the anti-gay sentiments that a lot of Muslim traditions traffic in, especially in more conservative areas of the world. So this is another article. This is specifically about inside look at ISIS's brutal persecution of gays. And they save the most gruesome executions for gay people, many of whom are not Muslim. They just are gay, and they have been turned in by family members or friends. For instance, this guy, a 26-year-old Syrian man, told the AP that even 2 years after fleeing to Turkey, he wakes up shaken by nightmares that he is about to be hurled from a building. Because that's what they liked to do. They liked to hang gay men, off of buildings and drop them head first, like hang them by their feet and then drop them head first. So this man says a childhood friend who became radicalized and joined ISIS betrayed him to the militants. He knew everything about me, such as being secular and gay, not Muslim. So what the fuck are we doing, Hasan? What is gained by lying about the scope with which ISIS kills people? Is it because they're indefensible? So they can't possibly be fighting for the Middle East? They have to be backed by the West? Because what they do can't be painted as if they're freedom fighters by you? Kate, I'm going to say this because I have to. Hasan and his community absolutely have a childlike view of the world and fail to understand mature subjects in the world around them. Yeah. %100 chance Emma Panda has ISIS videos on his hard drive. Yeah, I would agree with that. But like, again, you are dismissing the deaths, the torture of hundreds, thousands of people just to fit a narrative that nobody asked for. Like, this is the first time like this that I've seen anyone saying that ISIS is backed by Israel. And the fact that it's an Alex Jones talking point, like, what are we doing? Alex Jones, the man who has said aloud zillions of times to the point that he's been sued for $1 billion, that Sandy Hook was a psyop, was a false flag. If you have gotten to the point where Alex Jones talking points are coming out of your mouth in just such a throwaway manner, like, you got to reassess your life. Nothing about, and why is supporting ISIS in any way or sort of dismissing the severity of ISIS, rather, why is that required of you? Who is requiring that of you? I don't understand it. Like, instead of saying, yeah, some terrorists are really fucking bad and do horrible things and are trying to create a regime that is bad for most people, instead of saying that, because you can't legitimize what they do, because they aren't like fighting against one specific oppressor, the West, then you have to act like they are, it's like an inside job? Kate, you don't understand. America bad and it's the only bad guy. Oh, and Israel. Like, I don't even understand the theory here. But I take extreme offense to him erasing the pain and the terror that ISIS has caused in the Middle East, specifically in Syria, and the horrible shit they've done there. And then elsewhere in the world. I genuinely don't understand. Like, I'm trying to like get my head around why he has to have this take. I mean, the shit ISIS did in Syria was disgusting. I mean, just like Yeah. This is, of course, it's fucking paywalled. I mean, the starvation of the people in Syria around the same time as a result of ISIS. You have to blame that on Israel somehow? You have to blame that on the US somehow? Like, I will say, like, our government should take the blame for creating an environment that allowed ISIS to grow and exist, right? Because it came, I believe, after the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, right? In Iraq. But to say that everything they did was by design from Israel and America to kill Muslims, that ISIS is working for Israel and working for America? That's fucking psychotic. And who does it help? Who exactly does that help? It doesn't help the people in Gaza. It doesn't help the families of the dead that you've dismissed and erased. Oof, God. All right, here's one. Horrific images of stories of starving children have suddenly flooded the media as the reality of life in the town of Madaya in Syria, besieged by Syrian regime sources and Hezbollah, has surfaced. There's like tens of thousands, like the mass starvation in Syria. I remember it. There were like people eating. It was horrendous. They were talking about like cannibalism and stuff. People were so desperate. I don't know if that actually happened, but I remember people speculating about it. Images of starving children and emaciated bodies have sparked outrage, including Britain, where the Liberal Democrat leader called for RAF airdrops of food. 40,000 people have been under siege by the Assad regime and its Hezbollah allies in Madaya. And then ISIS is also in there fucking killing people. Like, what are we doing? Why does supporting Gaza, the people of Gaza and Palestine, why does that necessitate diminishing the bad things that terrorists are doing? It's like this, they think it's like this zero-sum game. Hasan doesn't care about, hang on, let me scroll up. That's English Muffin here. Hasan doesn't care about helping people. He cares about people listening to him to make him feel important and making money, in my opinion. I agree with that. It's also weirdly racist in a way, like terrorists only listen to their white bosses because they're dumb. Right. Like, who are these? So in this theory, who are these members of ISIS that are happy to take money from Israel to kill their own people? Who are these people? Are they Iraqis? Are they crisis actors? It's like when Hasan kind of shrugged and dismissed the protests against Hamas in Gaza. And I saw people saying, like, those aren't real Gazans. Who the fuck are they? Who are they? I know these people are loud, but they are fucking wrong. They are wrong, and they are on the wrong side of this. Please remember that. When you feel insane, it's because they are saying crazy shit. You are not on the right side of history if you think just making up conspiracy theories that take away agency and blame from ISIS for the horrible things they did is the way out of this. He's just like completely like terrorist captured now. He has to defend every terrorist group. And the ones he can't defend, the one whose actions he can't defend, he just lies about them and says they're actually puppets of Israel? What are we doing? Like, I don't know how this is allowed. Every time I see Hasan, he's lying about something and making things worse and just exacerbating things and just doling out all this disinformation that is just pushing people who don't know better down this radicalization pipeline where terrorists do nothing wrong. And if they do, they're actually Israeli. Do not report Hasan to the FBI. We are not snarkers. Yes, good job, mods. Thank you. The fact that terrorism bad is enough to get on the shit list with them is crazy to me. Yeah, I don't. It's because they have no sense of gray area, right? It's all a zero-sum game to them. If you support the people of Gaza, you have to support Hamas. And if you support Hamas, that means you also support the Houthis, Hezbollah, and now ISIS. And if terrorists do something wrong or are protested against by people, then those protesters and also the terrorists are all actually just Israeli or American operatives. Or hear me out, there are a lot of extremist, racist people in this world, and when they get power, they do terrible things, including presidents of our country, the leaders in Israel, and fucking terrorists. And what do they all have in common? They're men. They're men. Men are the scourge. It's not the West. It's the men. It's men. It's always men. Rapes happened on October 7th on both sides because men rape every single fucking day, especially in war. Not all men, but somehow always a man. Exactly. So yeah, that just really pissed me off when I saw it on the show today because I have such visceral memories of an ISIS attack happening on a large group of people of mixed religions and ethnicities. So I guess Israel really dropped the ball